Welcome to Albuquerque, New Mexico, where this SFLm semifinal matchup between the hometown Adams and the Ottawa Cavalry, playoff rematch between two teams that last year played a thrilling 23-20 game which saw Albuquerque come out on top. I'm your play-by-play commentator, Colin Northrup. Joining me in the booth is Brett Solberg. How you doing, Brett?
I am doing fantastic, Colin. Great to be back in the booth. It's been about, I would say, a good month or month and a half since I've been in the booth with somebody here, just, taking some time off, but I'm just happy to get back in the heat of things, and we got ourselves, like you said, championship rematch from just last season, where the Albuquerque Adams, just like last week, survived off a field goal, 26-23 in the championship game, and then survived just last week by 3 points to secure the #1 seed, whereas Ottawa, coming off a very disappointing 23-10 loss to San Jose, that shot San Jose up to the 2nd seed and Ottawa to the 4th seed. So this is how we got into this matchup. Still going to be exciting nonetheless, because we have that mini rivalry between Albuquerque and Ottawa here.
Only the third ever playoff appearance for the Cavalry. They're looking to get to the championship game. And the Adams are looking to repeat, to go back to back. We're underway. And the return up the middle to the 27-yard line is where they're going to mark it. And we get our first look at quarterback John Lakeman and running back Dwayne Salmons. Brett.
Now, John Lakeman hasn't been a guy that's been super flashy so far this season, but he stayed efficient. 1625 is his yardage. He is second amongst SFLm quarterbacks in completion percentage at 71.63. Let's see what happens in this game.
Lakeman starts off in the empty shotgun. Press coverage from all the Adams, as Lakeman floats this one into traffic, and it's knocked away incomplete. Knocked away by Ricky Robinson, the cornerback out there. It'll be second down.
Yeah, and that was the first risky pass already in this game for Lakeman, as he just threw a duck up in the air, had 3 Albuquerque defenders around that pass to 1 receiver of Ottawa. You can't be doing that early on in this game against a stout defense of Albuquerque's.
Second down for Ottawa. Oh, we get an offside call, and it'll negate a sack by number 69, Mickey Gibson. He got a head start on a quarterback, and he got a sack, but it won't count.
Yeah, kind of a breath of fresh air there for Ottawa after, an odd pass from Lakeman and then followed up by a sack that's now negated. Gives them a 2nd and 5, so maybe they can open things up here for their running back here, Dwayne Salmons, who's had a pretty decent season so far. 576 yards and 2 touchdowns, just on 3 yards per carry, though. They kind of used him as a dual threat option, both passing and running game.
Here's Lakeman back to throw. Swing it out. It's Salmons on the reception. He gets knocked down at the 34. Pick up 2. It's 3rd and 3. Other notable targets include Michael Knight and Isaiah King IV at wide receiver, and Izzy Mihata at tight end. All 3 of those guys are two-way players. Of course, I know Mihata well, being on my Motor City V8s. Lakeman on 3rd and 3, drops over the middle, catch is made. There's Mihata. He gets to his jersey number to 43, and that's good for a first down.
Yeah, and any Motor City fans are going to be happy to see Azami Mihata getting some action here. Ottawa has done a great job kind of spreading the ball around to, their key targets, including the wide receivers Michael Knight and Isaiah King IV, and that's how they've gotten to this 4th seed.
Here's Lakeman. Fires out, complete. That is Knight along the sideline, 4-yard gain. Let's introduce you to the Albuquerque defense. Melt Gibson is the defensive tackle. Mickey Gibson is the defensive end. Week 4 signing TJ Assassin at the other defensive end. Michael Smith Jr. and Sim Browski are the outside linebackers. Two-way player Ace Singletary is inside. Tavares Gordon and Ricky Robinson are the corners. Alex Marshall, Gold Osborne Davis are the free safeties, and Dante Grimm is back there at strong safety, two-way player from Louisiana. Simmons gets the carry, loses some yards back to the 45-yard line.
Yeah, and it looks like Albuquerque is starting to key on Salmons really early here so that he doesn't get involved all too often later on in this game. Salmons is very much a second-half running back that'll make you pay in that third and fourth quarter with big 20, 30-yard runs or receptions.
4 wide, Lakeman. Little out route. King turns the corner, gets the first down at the 47, knocked out of bounds. That's Gordon on the tackle, but not before the sticks are moved.
Yeah, and right now, Ottawa's doing a great job kind of dictating this offense right now. They're not doing anything super flashy. They're just looking for some good yards, get some key first downs out of this, and make Albuquerque's defense tired to start things off. If you can dominate time of possession, you'll probably dominate the game.
Split back shotgun, Lakeman, with the back either side of him. He's back to throw. Down he goes. It's sack time. Loss of 6. Back on the other side of 50 at the 47. And that time, Mickey Gibson gets a sack that counts.
Yeah, this one will count for Gibson. He wanted that. He wanted that one the most, as the offensive line did a decent job in protecting Lakeman. But sometimes with those defensive ends, they're going to have a little bit more desire than the offensive lineman.
Back to throw, Lakeman. Down the field he goes. Ooh, Isaiah Kingdefort almost had it in his hands, but 2 Neon defenders were there, setting up a 3rd and 16.
Yeah, and I think King actually had his hands on that football as well, and you'll see here Tavares Gordon doing a great job. Yeah, just getting fingertips on that football. King didn't have that ball completely secured at that time, and the diving attempt, 1 or 2 fingers will be the difference makers on what's a catch and what's not a catch. So great job from Tavares Gordon in getting that deflection.
We have a 3rd and 16 from the Ottawa 47. First drive of the game. 7:49 to go in the quarter. Lakeman fires down the field. Oh! Mahada almost came up with it, but instead, Alex Marshall just got a fingertip on it to prevent a sure first down, perhaps more.
Yeah, and if this is going to be any sense of how this game is going to be, it's going to be a game of fingertips, and you said it exactly. Alex Marshall just getting his fingertips on that football, because if he didn't, that's Azami Mahada touchdown territory, no problem. He was gone.
Dale Barrett Jr., the SFLm's only punter in the game now, boots it away, setting up the return for the Adams. Up to the 15 is where they'll be spotted. And this Adam offense, led by Ty Patak, steps on the field for the first time, Brett.
Yeah, and Ty Patak was a guy that I thought should have been drafted in last season's draft, but was left untouched by all 28 teams in this league. This time, he's showing some revenge on this. Over 2,100 passing yards and leads the league completion percentage with 72.5.
You got to play big to the fullback down the middle, dude. The man who dropped the pass, it's incomplete. Patak's got a wealth of targets to throw to, including Honus Odobe, Ed Williams at wide receiver, and Craig Westlake, the tight end. Odobe is with Atlanta, Williams is with Indianapolis, and Westlake is a two-way player with the DC Dragons. Josh Lepp is the tailback. He's in the eye. Attack under center, turns, gives the slap up the middle, and slap. Charges ahead for about a 5-yard gain to the 19, set up a 3rd and 5. Crum Gideon is the defensive end for Ottawa. Joining him is Timmy Turner, signed in week 5. Timothy Welbrock Bussey is the inside linebacker. Timothy Connolly is the outside linebacker, another Motor City V8 product. Logan Thornburg joins him on the outside. Zach Creech, Roy Towers are the corners. As Patak over the middle, first down completion to Williams. And joining Tanaka and Towers in the secondary are Matt Ryan, D'Amico Brewer, and GB Wallace.
Not a bad catch. Not a bad catch at all there from Ed Williams as well. It was 3 defenders on your sides and back as well. That's a great amount of composure to maintain that catch.
We got formation. Attack back to throw, moves in the pocket, finds Westlake across the middle of the field, picks up 9 on first down to set up a 2nd and 1 at the Albuquerque 42.
Yeah, and early on, I'm seeing Ottawa kind of pushing their safeties back a little bit and pursuing their linebackers a little bit forward, which is making that pocket, that level between the linebackers and safeties, wide open. So I think Craig Westlake, at least in this first drive here, could have a field day.
Here's to get to slap his 2nd carry on the drive, and he gets the first down. They'll mark him just short of the 50 at the 49. Goodwin Sly, the fullback, threw a good block in there along with the reserve tight end.
Yeah, and they had great blocking, like you said, led by Gladwin Sky to get slap available there. Albuquerque's probably one of the best in the SFLm in short down situations just to get first downs.
Attack 7-step, drop steps, throws. Westlake has the reception, and it's good to the 38 for another Adam first down.
Now that's a little bit of flashy work. That's a little bit of flashy work there from Ty Patak there, seeing the pocket collapse on him. He throws off his front foot, it looks like, and still nails Westlake. No problem whatsoever. Another quick first down for Albuquerque into enemy territory, and they're starting to threaten here.
Olin, the other tight end, lines up next to Westlake. They have 2 receivers to the bottom of your screen. Defensive line sets as Patak goes down. It's sack time on the play. Way back there at the 45, loss of 7. That is Timmy Turner, and he did not need his Fairleigh godparents to help him get the sack.
No, he just wished for a sack himself, and he got it there. Timmy Turner with a nice pursuit. Again, a great job from this defensive line to give Patak basically no pocket in these last 2 plays here to kind of give him a little bit of pressure, and that's what Ottawa needs to do. They need to pressure Patak.
Slap catches that out of the backfield. We'll gain about 3 yards to set up a 3rd and still very long.
Yeah, and 3rd and 14 is going to be tough here. Albuquerque's going to start needing to, pull out of their bag of tricks here. We know that they're capable of, pulling a nice, trick play every now and again. But, this is the right idea here. 5 wide. Look to your bottom there. That's the main guy I'd be looking for on that play.
Let's see where he goes. He's got 5 wide in the pattern, but tacked down the middle, wide open on the post. Beautiful job by the Adams. It's first down to the 23. It's Ed Williams again, his 2nd catch on the drive.
Yeah, and that's a big play from Albuquerque, spreading out their wide receivers, and just a simple bump and run action. And it looked like Zach Critch didn't do enough to alter Williams's route at all, and that made an easy catch for Williams and an easy first down for Albuquerque.
Ryan appreciating the no hesitation on the Timmy Turner joke. Trust me, Matt, I had that one in my back pocket as soon as I pulled up the rosters. Here's Patak back to throw. Has to move in the pocket.
Good protection.
Has a first down to the 10, down to the 5.
Wow.
And they'll mark him at the 5 as he doesn't slide when it'll be 1st and goal.
And how often do you see in the major leagues quarterbacks that see no receivers open, take it themselves and get, a 15-yard run out of themselves? It's very, very rare in this league. Like Matt Wilson's the only one that I can think of, but he was desperate trying to get out of his own end zone the last time I saw him run.
Here's the give. Slap touchdown. Josh Slap with the first touchdown of the game from 5 yards out, and the Adams are on the board first.
And again, it's great protection, like you said earlier. This time, Gladwin Sky again, key block that helps Slap get open on that left side to score the touchdown. And even though it was only 5 yards to the end zone, 5 yards can be tough in any league. So great job from the offensive line and the utility fullbacks to get that protection for Slap to get to the end zone. Albuquerque strikes first.
Verity, the contracted kicker, on for the extra point. Something good. We have 3:08 left to go in the first quarter, and it's 7-0 Albuquerque. The Simulation Football League combines traditional sports, esports, and a role-playing game into one. Team strategies are being executed in real time by our simulations as real-life players compete on the virtual gridiron. For more information about the SFL, visit our website at www.simulationfl.net. The SFL, we put the fan in fantasy. Verity's kick is away. It's a deep one. Will be fielded from about the 10-yard line up the middle. And the Cavalry will be stopped at the 28. See the records there. Ottawa making the playoffs despite being 2 games under 500. Dante Grimm back there in the secondary. John Lakeman, quarterback. He's in the split shotgun. 3 wide. Back to throw. Gets it off to Simmons, and he loses 2 yards. Had Mejada back there, but ultimately the pressure forced the check down and ultimately the loss of 2.
Yeah, picture perfect Albuquerque defensive play there to limit any options for Lakeman to throw, resulting in that, that check down, losing 2 yards. It was either going to be a 5-yard sack or a 2-yard loss. They'll take the 2-yard loss any day of the week.
Bunch to the bottom. Here we get to Simmons on the run. He loses an additional yard. Simbrowski with his second TFL on the game. Sets up a 3rd and long.
Yeah, and this is what Ottawa can't do at this point, is to give Albuquerque any momentum that they can, especially on that defensive end. Lakeman needs to step up here and throw some big passes. This is 3rd and 13. If they can't get themselves out of this hole early, Albuquerque could run away from this.
Let's see what Robert Cherry has in his bag of tricks. Lakeman down the middle, tipped in, incomplete. Looking for the right man down there, but Alex Marshall says, no soup for you.
Yeah, and it's going to be a lot of pass deflections here from Albuquerque. As you'd have to think from their mindset, when Ottawa's down in this game, they're going to start throwing the football a little bit more here. And this was just great coverage from the safeties here, especially Marshall with that pass deflection. Basically had his bicep on that football when he was, flinging his arm out. And again, forcing Ottawa to punt here, and they could possibly get a good field position out of this with K.L. Barrett Jr. punting from, in just at the 10-yard line.
He's got a big leg, but the Adams should still get good field position out of it. And it's back to the drawing board for Robert Cherry on the sideline. Rush comes, nearly gets there. The turn up the middle of the field to the 41-yard line is where they'll mark it. 40 Adams to begin this next possession, up by 7.
Yeah, if I'm Albuquerque at this point, I just want to, get Josh Slapp continuing to go here. He got the 5-yard run for a touchdown here. Let's see what else he can do early on so Patak doesn't have to throw the football all that much in this first half.
They line up with 3 tight ends out of the I formation, slap the deep back. But they'll throw, and Patak goes down. Sack time on the play. Coming in virtually untouched was number 91. Caden Rowe, the defensive tackle, just muscling his way through there for the sack.
Yeah, just an absolute breakdown of the offensive line, and there just wasn't enough pressure from the guard, Greg Flanders, who was trying to cover him, and Rowe had no problem getting past him and getting to Patak on that sack.
Looks like they were trying to set up a screen, but the offensive line fired out late. Cost them 6 yards back to the 35, 2nd and 16. 4 wide receivers, dime look out of the defense. Has to dump it underneath the slap, then slap. Oh, he'll get back to the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play. Connolly, along with Towers, combining on the tackle, 3rd and long.
Yeah, it looks like they tried the screen again this time, and this time it did work, but it was a great job from the Cavalry defense recognizing that they're going with it again and basically stopping Slap right at the line of scrimmage.
They go 4 wide under center. Single back offset to the left. Attack, straight drop back, fires, and it is knocked away. Ed Williams, the intended receiver. The defender on the play was Matt Ryan. able to knock it away with his body, and the Ottawa defense comes up with a stop, Brett.
Yeah, and that's big for Ottawa here. They don't want to get Albuquerque rolling because we know there's multiple instances of Albuquerque this season scoring 30-plus points, and you don't want to get them rolling early in this game because then they'll run away with it. But good stuff from Ottawa, and now this is their chance to respond here.
Albuquerque, of course, thrilling game last week with the Madison Lynx for playing the San Jose Flight in the other semifinal game. That score of that game was 34-31 Albuquerque. Meanwhile, back in this game, the Cavalry will start it from their own 30.
This is, again, another big moment here for John Lakeman. He wants to get Ottawa out of this funk here to end this first quarter. 38 seconds left at the end of this stanza here. And you kind of want to start this drive off with, a big bang if I'm Ottawa.
Line up with split backs. They'll give up the Salmons. Tries to spin and hole, picks up 2 yards, which is better than the last couple times he's touched the ball where he's lost the yardage. Jonte Grimm on the it.
Yeah, and, any team that faces Chad Stinson as your defensive coordinator, they're going to have a tough time just trying to get any big yards out of it. So Ottawa's got to, find an open spot so Lakeman can throw for big passes.
He's back to throw now. He's got a man.
There it is.
It is complete out of bounds at the 46. That is Michael Knight on the reception.
Nice deep outs from Michael Knight as well. And good job protecting the quarterback there. There was nobody within a 2-foot radius of Lakeman. Great work from the offensive line for to give Lakeman that patience to wait for his receivers to get open and get the big first down that they needed.
That'll be the last play of the quarter. 7-0 Albuquerque in front. You're watching the SFLm on YouTube. There's Michael Knight. 6'4", 220 pounds, plays with the Sioux Falls Sparrows. Opportunity to get some more reps here in the minor leagues. Simmons on the carry will pick up 1 yard to start the second quarter play. Calling Northrop, Brett Solberg here in the broadcast booth along with you here in Albuquerque, New Mexico.
And already a first quarter with, good defenses from both these teams so far, only resulting in the lone touchdown to start this game. But Ottawa's starting to move a little bit here, even though it was just a 1 yard gain on that first down. Expect maybe a split backs pass to one of the running backs here.
Wahada lines up in the backfield as the tight end Lakeman pumps. Now goes over the middle. Oh! Isaiah King IV had the ball right in his hands, but he was crunched at the last minute, led by 2 defenders on the play for Albuquerque, including number 32, Ricky Robinson.
Yeah, and that was just, Albuquerque Oreo there with, an Ottawa cream, as you could say, from Isaiah King IV. That's going to be tough for any wide receiver to secure that catch.
Even a guy as tall as King, who's 6'5", 215 pounds. 3rd and 9 to go underneath. Ooh, they get
good
the
block.
first down on the little curl pattern. Great yak by Harper to pick up the first down.
Yeah, and there was a key block there to help Harper get that extra yard or two to get the first down, and that is big for Ottawa. It's just they need to continue getting these first downs, and they need to do the same thing that they did, in their first drive in that first quarter was, kind of suck that Albuquerque defense dry, get them tired so you can get a touchdown out of them.
Best coverage from all the corners out there to get the Salmons up the middle. That's his best run of the day so far. Brett picks up 5. It'll be 2nd and 5 from the 39.
Yeah, and like I said, Salmons is very much a second-half running back, and, unexpectedly he'll have those 25, 30, 35-yard runs out of nowhere. So if they can continue getting him, 4 or 5 yards every now and again, it's gonna be good for Ottawa.
2nd and 5. Lakeman gets to Salmons again. Has a little bit of hope, picks up 2. Sets up a 3rd and short from the 37.
Yeah, and I think this is the right way of going with this because you can't just, predictably be, pass heavy with your drives here, going 2 straight handoffs to Salmons to at least get you in a 3rd and short situation where your playbook can be a little bit more open. This is smart thinking from Ottawa.
Salmons is flexed out as the 3rd wide receiver. Legman back to throw. Going deep down the field. Oh, Dante Grimm almost took that away. As the pass falls to the turf, it'll be 4th and 3, and Barrett Jr. on for the punt.
Yeah, and first chance we've seen of, getting that pay dirt pass from either team here, and Lakeman almost got to it, but those safeties stepping back just enough there to get the pass deflection. Great work from Albuquerque to turn things around momentum-wise.
Let's see if he can angle this one to the corner. This is going to be fair caught at the 13. About 4.4 seconds in the air. The Adams will start 1st and 10.
Yeah, this will be big here for Ottawa's defense to step up one more time. See if they can stop them from their own 13-yard line. That's 85 yards to the end zone that Albuquerque has to get to. So just as tiring as Ottawa's defense probably will get, it'll be the same thing for Albuquerque's offense.
Here's Patak in the gun. He sets. Dumps it off the slap. Oh, not the greatest execution in the world that time. Lost of a yard. Out of bounds at the 13.
Yeah, just a failed play there from Albuquerque there. That's just all the fault of Patak, just not passing the ball quick enough on that, on that swing pass, and that forced him basically to, slide that catch out of bounds.
2nd and 11. Swing pass again to Slap. This time he has plenty of room. Spins, picks up the 1st down before he's knocked down at the 29-yard line for a 1st down.
Yeah, that's a quick adjustment from Patak this time, knowing that Slap needed that pass way earlier on that first play. They go with it again, and this time plenty of room for Slap to, just turn his body and start running forward. And you saw the spin move earlier on that replay. Nice work to, just get an extra couple yards. And, those scouts are going to be looking for the agility and the elusiveness of those running backs. So great work for Slap here.
1st and 10 at the 29. Full house backfield. Here's to get the Slap up the middle on the ice. So carries 2 defenders forward to the 36. That was like trying to catch a calf there for the Ottawa defenders. He hopped on Slap's back and went for a ride.
Yeah, and it looks like Josh Slap is going to be a tough assignment for anybody at this point, because he's starting to roll a little bit here. And like you said, it felt like a bull riding contest there.
Slap tackled from behind in the backfield. That was Rowe who had the sack earlier. That's up a 3rd and 5.
Yeah, and I think that's what Ottawa needs to do, is just make sure that they can, find holes in that offensive line like Caden Rowe did again here, this time getting to Slap. Nobody touched Rowe at all. Getting to Slap pretty easy there. Now setting up a 3rd and 5. Still a short down situation for Albuquerque here, so the playbook's still open enough, but a key moment for Ottawa to stop this drive early in their going.
Coverage from the corners. See all 11 defenders on your screen. Patak throws, one-handed catch by Olerby, who gets out of bounds, just barely past the sticks at the 39.
Yeah, and the big difference there from him getting out of bounds behind the 1st down marker and ahead of the 1st down marker, there was that key stiff arm that got him moving just enough to get him on that sidelines and get that key 1st down for Albuquerque. Great work from Adobe.
And the gun is Patak. That Slap to his right side. 2 receivers to the bottom. Patak fires. He got Olerby again. And he's away down to the 20, down to the 10. Touchdown, Albuquerque.
Man, what a gutsy play call from Albuquerque there with Onis Adobe. See how many defenders are just in his way. And again, bump battle failure on the Ottawa defender, leaving Adobe wide open. You can see 3 Ottawa defenders chasing after him, but Adobe's got that speed. That Atlanta training sessions can get you faster, especially when Bryant Dynasty is going to be yelling at you for missing catches and not getting open. So great job on Adobe, and now Albuquerque up 2 scores here.
Well, you can definitely tell he went to the Boo Chisholm school of how to make big plays. if you can do stuff like that. 6:38 to go in the first half, and Verity on to try the extra point. It's up and good. 14-0. Adams out in front, and the Cavalry have to try to make the river run uphill, Brett.
It's gonna be tough for Ottawa now. It's now a 2-score game, and basically Albuquerque forcing Ottawa's hand and forcing John Lakeman to pass a little bit more, and that's going to be a momentous task for a guy who is, near the bottom in passing yards this season.
Zach Creech was the man covering on the play, as Harper returns it up to the 27, and Brett, it looks like it's going to have to be the John Lakeman show.
Yeah, and starting at the 27 here gets you 73 yards to the end zone, and maybe stop thinking about handoffs to Dwayne Salmons and start getting Lakeman a little bit more involved here. And I think right now your main target, he's been open a couple times, Azami Mahata, the tight end.
He's on the field. They get to Salmons, picks up 2. Zimbrowski on the tackle. And Coach Robert Cherry talking about some of the more finer inner workings of his team there, Brett. He's got to be frustrated with how this game has gone so far, especially offensively.
Yeah, and you have a 0 marker at a quarter to half of the game so far. It's not good for Ottawa's offense.
Salmons again. He got, just barely past the line of scrimmage. They'll say no gain on the play. Set up a 3rd and 8 from the 30, Brett, and looks like Lakeman is going to have to try and chuck one up here.
Yeah, if those 2 plays didn't force the hand for passing, this certainly will. 3rd and 8.
Here's Lakeman over the middle. Catch made. Isaiah King. Oh, he's tackled in a big way. A yard short of sticks, unfortunately for him. Tackle made on the play by number 27, Terry Sanders, a reserve corner. And Ottawa once again forced to punt.
Yeah, and this time it was just Isaiah King the fourth not being able to turn his body just enough to get forward so he can get that first down, resulting in getting tackled just a yard behind the first down marker. Very unfortunate for Ottawa because it was a great play call.
Almost worked. As the return gets up to the 32. And Brett, everything is coming up neon green and black.
Yeah, and it's definitely not what Ottawa wants to see. But if you're Ty Patak, you're definitely thinking to yourself, hey, I don't need to pass all too often right now. Slap is giving me some good work right now. He's averaging about 4 or 5 yards per carry, and that's all we need to get forward in this game. I don't need to pass all that often now.
1st and 10. Get the slap up the middle, and Josh Slap again picks up 5 yards on 1st down. See the average there, 4.3 yards a carry.
And see what a difference, an offense makes when your running back, when your running back is, getting a little bit of momentum started here. Salmon's only at 9 yards and averaging just over a yard per carry, whereas it feels like Josh Slap is getting himself the yards necessary to move that Albuquerque team forward.
2nd and 5, Slap again on the carry. Finds a little rust room, but still manages to pick up a yard.
Yeah, again, that was just great, tough running from Slap. Even though he only got a yard out of that and Ottawa's defense was swarming all over him, that was the toughest way to get a yard for Slap here. So now setting up a 3rd and 4, and we could be looking for that stretch run to the left side with those 2 blockers in front of Slap.
Here's Patak, gives the Slap. Oh, he stopped the yard short. Great tackle on the play by the inside linebacker, Timothy Rockwell Bussy. And It'll be 4th and 1 in the Adams on the punt.
Yeah, great job from Ottawa there to, just stop, I guess right now, proverbially stop the bleeding, even though they're only down 2 touchdowns at this point. But that's the momentum they need to get back in this game.
On his way, return by Herbert is up to the 24. Liking the game so far? Hit that like button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. As the SFL approaches its 20th anniversary season, there's much more content to come. Don't miss a minute of SFL or SFLm action and help the channel grow through your support. Thank you for helping the SFL reach 10 years of operation through your viewership. Lakeman in the empty shotgun all by himself. He's back to throw. Winds up, fires, and it's knocked away. Gordon on the deflection. Isaiah King, the 14, intended receiver.
Yeah, and that was a gutsy call. First down, throwing it deep to Isaiah King the fourth, who in part has struggled throughout this game. I think he's only had 1 catch so far in this game, and he's had a couple of catches bobbled out of his hands, unfortunately. So, I like where they're going with this, but I think it might be time to, go Michael Knight's way, perhaps.
Give the Salmons, and he's stopped in the backfield for a loss of 1. Dante Grimm comes off the short corner to deliver the boom.
And again, Albuquerque forcing Ottawa's hand, telling them, hey, you better pass that ball next play because we're not going to give Salmons any chance to run that football forward. Now it's 3rd and 11. They've got trips to the right here. Watch for Michael Knight on the bottom, though. I think he'd be your main target.
Big man, 3-step drop over the middle. Isaiah King the fourth this time.
Wow.
He picked up the first down, carrying 2 guys on his back to the 34.
That's gutsy work from Isaiah King. Probably hearing me in the booth kind of doubting him so far in this first half. But, proving me right, prove me wrong at this point. Pass it to Isaiah King the fourth. He's gonna stretch his way for that first down and move the chains for Ottawa.
You got 3 wide split backs. They get the Salmons wide, has some blocks, and only manages to pick up 2 yards. 2nd and 8 as we're fast approaching the 2-minute warning, likely the final play before it hits.
And it just seems like Sam's is struggling here. He hasn't been getting anything open. He's maybe had 1 5-yard run in this first half.
2-minute warning. You're watching the SFLm on YouTube. The SFL Minor League is winding down Season 6, but it's not too late to create your player and get him or her involved in the next rookie class. Season 20 rookie draft. Meanwhile, back on the field, Michael Knight had the ball in his hands and he dropped it incomplete, setting up a 3rd and 8.
And another drop from the Ottawa receivers here. That's got to be depleting for John Lakeman, because that's about the 2nd or 3rd time this half that we've had an Ottawa receiver drop the football, and now forcing a 3rd and 8 here. They're gonna have to go with something unique, this Ottawa offense, to get that first down.
Here's 3 wide. Oh, they get an offsides. This will be a free play. Lakeman, he'll get sacked, but ultimately they'll move 5 yards closer.
Yeah, not too bad for Ottawa here. Kind of just a reset of things. It just seemed like the play was broken from the start anyways on that snap of the football. So now it's 3rd and 3. They can kind of open up their playbook a little bit more here if they want. They can kind of misdirect that defense and try to give Salmons one more touch of the football to get that first down. But I don't know. I'd say stick with the passing game. Go with the short out route.
Penalty called on Gibson, his 2nd, and it negates a sack. This time not his own. As they came to 3 receptions on 7 targets. Do they look his direction here? No, they get the Salmons up the middle. He got the first down to the 44.
And that one could be arguable here. It's all about the placement of the football at the end of the day. And, 50-50, I would say, between whether it is or isn't a first down. But it's pretty close. They're going to give it to him here. And Ottawa's going to move the chains. So this should be a momentum shift a little bit on the side of the Cavalry.
Clock 125 and counting. Lakeman, 7-step drop. First time we've seen this today. Pump, and down he goes. It's sacked back at the 40. Loss of 5, and here comes the hurry up. And those poor receivers have to run themselves all the way back.
Nah, it's tough there to, do a hurry up after a sack, but here we are.
Lakeman steps up. Oh,
boy.
Let it go, but it's barely incomplete. That was pressure on the play by the Adams' other defensive player, who's been a menace. That is Mel Gibson, the defensive tackle.
Yeah, that just looked like Ottawa trying things again, and Albuquerque saying, you know what, we recognize you're trying it again. Why don't we just run the same defensive play to pressure Lakeman? And that's, a sack and an incomplete pass after those two plays.
3rd and 15 from the 40. You need to get to the other 40 for the first down, and well, that won't do it, Brett. It looks like they're going to go into the locker room down 2 score.
Yeah, and that's disheartening from an Ottawa fan side there, because your team isn't scoring, but your defense is doing just enough to keep you in the game right now. It's only 2 touchdowns. We've seen, 2 touchdowns scored in less than a minute in major league games, so it's definitely possible to get back in this game no problem. And it's tough from an Ottawa fan standpoint right now.
Sanchez on for another punt. It's away. Catch and return up to the 23. The SFL minor league is winding down season 6, but it's not too late to create your player and get him or her involved in the next rookie class. Season 20 rookie draft takes place December 17th and 18th, so don't miss your chance. The sooner you create the player, the better your player will be on draft day. For more information, visit simulationfl.net. Now, position claims for this season are open, but it's still worthwhile to check things out, because pretty soon after the draft, things will open up, right? Here's Patak sacked on the play, loss of 4. I believe that's Turner again, his 2nd sack. And the Adams in front 14-0 in this Season 5 championship rematch.
Yeah, and right now it's just been a complete shutdown of the Ottawa offense. Great work from Albuquerque's defense to limit them to 77 yards of total offense, as you'll see right there. Despite Ottawa trying to control time possession, they lead it by just about 50 seconds, it looks like, on the chart there, but limited to only 77 yards and limiting Dwayne Salmons to just 13 yards in the first half of rushing. And it's not like Ottawa's not giving him the football enough. It's just that Salmons is being stopped at every point of the football, no matter what. And Albuquerque's offense, in turn, has capitalized by getting, a quick jaw slap touchdown to, kind of start things off. And there you see it there, the Onus Adobe catch and run that got him past 3 defenders and into the end zone to extend that lead to 14 love right now. So Ottawa needs to, get back into what they did right, how they got to a 3-2 start into the season, because they definitely don't want to lose 4 straight to end their campaign.
Indeed, Brett. And to just rub a little salt in the wound, they have to kick off to start the second half. Jazz Blackwater to kick off for Albuquerque. Return from about the 5-yard line, cutting right, and down at the 26 is where the Adams will begin.
Yeah, and this is time for Albuquerque to definitely start, spreading this game wide open. And, with their defense being so stout, if they can get one more touchdown in this game, it might be insurmountable for Ottawa, even with 2 quarters left in this game, with how this game's going so far.
Here's attack under center, 3-step drop, slant over the middle, catch made for a pickup of 7 on first down. It'll be 2nd and 3. Attack 147 yards and a first half passing touchdown.
Yeah, he's done all right so far in this first half. Getting to 139. You add 8 more to this play here, sets up a second and short where they can open things up again for Josh Slapp and kind of mix that offense around with run and pass.
For 3 tight ends, they get the Slapp, second man through the tackle made in the backfield. Loss of 2. Timothy Connolly on the TFL.
Yeah, that's big for Ottawa there, kind of pushing Slapp back a little bit here to, set things off for Slapp in the second half with a negative on his rushing performance here, losing 1 yard, but still 3rd and 5, so Ottawa needs to get one more play to stop this Albuquerque offense.
Westlake in the slot, goes over the middle and catches the pass for the first down to the 41 before he's tackled by Busky.
Yeah, that's big there for, Westlake, because this is a guy that, potentially could have a bigger role with DC this upcoming season. So if he can get as many catches as he can going through this playoff performance, and if he gets a big game out of this, we could be seeing more Craig Westlake touchdowns next season for the DC Dragons.
That gives off the slap. Up the middle, picks up 4.
Yeah, and how crucial has Josh Slapp been to just set the momentum for these Albuquerque drives here? Getting, even 4 or 5 yards is so big for offenses because it opens up your playbooks and it gets yourself, that momentum set so you can move forward.
2nd and 6. Attack, quick drop, fires up the Slapp, breaks the tackle, picks up a first down to the 48. Ryan on the step. First and 10 at the 48. Albuquerque in firm control. Weak eye formation, 2 receivers to the bottom. Type attack. Give off to Josh Slapp again. Spins in a hole.
Oh, man.
First down and more to the 40. To the 30. To the 20.
Oh, you're kidding.
And touchdown, Albuquerque.
Man, what a one-man effort from Josh Slapp. And you'll see just a simple stretch run, 2 spin moves in succession, and just has wide open space on the right side. You think he's going to get tackled right at the 20? No, it ain't going to happen. He slips out of another one, gets to the end zone, and all sights running to the SFLm championship game for Albuquerque as they get their 3rd score. They're now up 3 scores. Ottawa needs to respond in a big way now.
Indeed. Put some perspective into what Slapp did breaking the tackle of Connolly. Connolly is 6'3", 248 pounds. Josh Slapp is only 6 foot, 210 pounds. 21-0 with 8:17 to go in the 3rd. And it's now looking like Everest for the Cavalry.
Yeah, and, the best way to start climbing Everest is that one big step. So Ottawa needs to find that one big step. And right now, down 3, John Lakeman's got to step up.
Disparity's kick to Harper. We fielded just past the 10 at the 9. Harper up the middle, gets to the 31. Let's see what the Cavalry, if they made any adjustments on this, their first drive of the second half.
I mean, they had to have made adjustments because they didn't score any points in that first half. So everything felt like it was wrong for Ottawa's offense. So they definitely need to change, if not everything, most of their things up.
High formation, 3 wide receivers. 7-step drop from Lake. Has a clean pocket, steps up, fires.
Nice.
Wide open. It's Michael Knight for the first down to the 44, and there he is, Brett.
Yeah, and that's how you get your wide receivers going is, just waiting for someone to get open. And the offensive line did just enough to give Lakeman that time. And even though he threw an absolute, I don't know what you call that, what do you call that, a flipping football frenzy, I guess you could say, on that pass, but it's still connected. and they got the first down. And that should be a momentum setter here for Ottawa in this drive.
1st and 10 at the 44. Lakeman back to throw. Has to run out of the pocket, being chased, and sack time back at the 43. That is Mickey Gibson in on the sack, number 69, his second of the game.
Yeah, and that wasn't too bad just for Ottawa there, because Lakeman was just trying to run to the line of scrimmage and only losing 1 yard. Not too bad on that sack.
Here's Lakeman. Throw. It's the curl pattern. Harper has it. And it sets up a 3rd and 7 at the 47. Join us Friday night at 9 p.m. for the 6th SFLm championship game before we find out who's going where in the Season 20 rookie draft on Saturday and Sunday evenings right here on YouTube. The official draft order will be released after rosters lock on Wednesday, December 14th. Rookies, get ready to make the ultimate impact just before the holiday season. Lakeman, 7-step drop on 3rd and 7. Oh, it's going to be intercepted. Intercepted. That is Ricky Robinson, the corner. Steps in front of Michael Knight, and that is a backbreaker.
Yeah, and Albuquerque's defensive backs have done a fantastic job, at least covering the wide receivers. And we see, especially in that first quarter, getting nice deflections, and stopping Ottawa's drive. And this time, Robinson gets his hands on the football. Just a predictable pass from John Lakeman. It looked like he was looking at Michael Knight the whole time. Now gives Albuquerque the football.
Here to get the slap, but he's immediately tackled in the backfield for a loss of 3. There's Rowe again.
Yeah, and he's been a big part of that Ottawa defense, getting the sack and now 2 tackles for loss and forcing Slap to lose 3 yards again, trying to just stop Slap at any point. And it's been a tough assignment for this Ottawa defense. But right now, again, another good momentum setter defensively for the Cavalry, 2nd and 13.
He gives the slap. He gains the lost yardage back to the original line of scrimmage to set up a 3rd and 10.
Yeah, basically back to neutral ground here for Albuquerque. And, something tells me that we're going to have one of the receivers open on a 1st down. So Ottawa, I hope you clamp down here, get a deflection, try to flip this momentum here.
Here's Patat, fires over the middle, knockdown. That's the inside linebacker in coverage. We called his name plenty. And that's a big stop for the Ottawa defense by Timothy Welbrock.
Yeah, and it looked like a for sure catch as well for Albuquerque, but like you said, just timely deflection there from Timothy Welbrock Bussey. And this time, Ottawa gets a key stop. They're going to get the football back despite throwing the interception. So, wipe that sweat off your forehead. You're all good.
5:37 to go in the 3rd. Bennington puts his foot into this one. Fielded at the 20 up to the 24. Visit the SFL website at simulationfl.net for more info about the league. It's 28 teams, all the places you can watch live games, plus links to apparel from Sector 6 and SFL mini helmets from 97 Sports Promotion. See all league records, team stats, player leaderboards, and the rankings of the next class of SFL Town, and so much more. SimulationFL.net, your home for everything SFL. John Lakeman changes the play at the line of scrimmage, 7-step drop, fires to Michael Knight, but he's out of bounds. It'll be 2nd and 10.
Yeah, and Michael Knight, you gotta learn where you are out of bounds at this point, because the best of the best wide receivers in the SFL know where to plant their feet on those sideline catches, and Ottawa needs as many yards as they can get moving forward. But you can tell even from our far end of the booth there, tiptoeing right on the sidelines out of bounds.
Strangely, the Cavalry don't throw the challenge flag. And it'll be 2nd down. Lake has to dump it underneath. Simons dropped the ball.
Yeah, and I think Lakeman went to the wrong target there. There was an X cross on the left side, and it looked like one of the receivers was open, but he decided to go a little bit too safe, go with a check down on the swing pass, and it just didn't work out. And now they haven't gained any yards on 2 passes. They need to move forward here, and they need to give these Ottawa fans a reason to show up in this game.
Third and 10. Lakeman, can he pull a rabbit out of his hat? He's back to throw. Fires! It's tipped in the air.
Man.
Complete. Stafford had the ball in his hands, but instead it went up in the air and hit the ground. Another punt from Barrett Jr. forthcoming as you see the ball just go high in the air, and a couple neon green shirts had it. It's a microcosm there, Brad, of how their innings gone.
The main thing there was that Trafford was absolutely not ready to catch that football. It just looked like he was running for it, and then he just turned his head and said, "Oh crap, I've got a football that's 2 inches away from me." And you can see the ball go up as he's trying to get his hands up, and it just didn't work out.
On its way, Albuquerque will get to start from their own 38-yard line.
And all Ottawa can ask for at this point is just, have that defense step up one more time, get another stop, try to get that offense back out on the field because, get as many reps as you can offensively, and eventually you might be able to score. But it's been tough for Ottawa so far in this game.
Here's Slap. Up the middle, has plenty of room, and will pick up 9 yards. Takes 2 guys to bring him down. He's up to 89 yards and has 2 rushing touchdowns to his credit.
Yeah, and it's only 89 yards. Sometimes we see these running backs in the major leagues, and, already at this point they could be at 200 yards. I look at a guy like Reggie Streeter that does it in his sleep. But, this has been an effective 89 yards here for Josh Slap in this game.
Here's Patak over the middle. Westlake again holds on despite the wicked hit from Connolly at the 41. Wow, what a catch by Westlake.
Yeah, and he's had some big catches in the major leagues as well. That's probably set him up to be a key contributor for Albuquerque throughout this season. One of the key factors as to why Albuquerque finished the regular season with only 1 loss. And right now, Westlake has been a key part of the passing offense.
Slap. It's the carry. He'll lose 4 yards back there. It's the other defensive tackle. That is Howard, number 71. Liam Howard with the 4-yard TFL.
Yeah, and that's what Ottawa needs to continue to do here. If they can stop just the running game at any point and force Patak to throw the football, these SFLm quarterbacks aren't going to be perfect. They might throw an errant pass for an interception. That's what Ottawa has to hope for at this point.
Here's Patak.
Oh!
He sacked again. They tried to set up the screen, but he was too busy doing window shopping. There's Ed Monroe again on the sack.
Man, that's a key sack for Caden Rowe in Ottawa as well. That's the 2nd sack of the game. He's been pursuing Patak and Josh Slap all game so far, and now it's 3rd and the distance from Ottawa to Toronto for Albuquerque here. So this is a no-doubt passing play.
6-step drop, Patak. He has a clean pocket, fires. Ooh, it's almost going to be an interception. As Bussy again almost had it in his fingertips as he goes for the swat and not to try to catch it.
Yeah, and if you want to, highlight 2 MVP defensive players for Ottawa, we got to give it to Timothy Wellbrock Bussy, and we got to give it to Caden Rowe. Those 2 guys have stepped up big time, because if they weren't in this game, this could easily be, 34-0, no problem for Albuquerque.
I don't disagree with that assessment, but I got to go to the bat for my guy Timothy Connolly. Yes, he's had some rough plays, but he's also made a couple of big ones throughout this ball game as Harper returns it up to the 21.
See, you're only saying that because it's one of your players. Come on, Colin.
Okay, you caught me, but we at the V8s are like one big family unit. We like to stick together.
Yeah, that you gotta love, one big happy families, and I can't wait for Motor City to, rev up this season 20.
Here's Salmon's up the middle. His best run of the day by far, out to the 33. Ricky Robinson saved what might have been a mighty long touchdown run.
Yeah, and I've been telling you guys all game here that Dwayne Salmons is a second half running back. And how about his first real touch of this game? Just a straight run, nobody touching him until he gets past the first down marker. And like you said, if it wasn't for that one tackle, it could have been a big 40-yard run for Dwayne Salmons. And this is what Ottawa needs out of their running back. Set the momentum for the drive so that Lakeman can feel a little bit more confident and get those catches from their wide receivers.
He's changing something at the line. Staring against the dime 3-2. Over the middle. Isaiah getting the fourth, but they're catching another first down to the 48. Wow, what a play.
Yeah, and that was just all slants. You see all three receivers and the tight end, Mihata, all running a slant to the inside. And it's a no doubt in the SFL and the minor leagues, one of those receivers is going to get open. And King IV was open on the deep. So that was a great decision made by Lakeman. Another big first down for Ottawa.
Lakeman has to dump it off to the fullback, and the fullback gets back to the line of scrimmage. Easily could have lost a yard or two. Ace Singletary ushers Ross out of bounds, but it looked like Michael Knight beat his cornerback badly on the play.
Yeah, you called it there. I was looking at Michael Knight, and I was saying, I don't know if you need to go conservative here at this point. Someone has got to get into the head of John Lakeman. I would say head coach Robert Cherry and say, hey, throw caution to the wind at this point. We're down 3 scores. You had a receiver open. Look deep.
He's not going to be happy when he looks at the tablet on the sidelines after the drive. As Salmons breaks away.
There it is.
Almost broke a tackle. Grimm, who comes up with his 5th tackle down at the 38, but Salmons, he was one broken tackle away from busting another long one.
Yeah, and this is a great time for Ottawa's running back to wake up here. Dwayne Salmons, again, breaks open on a stretch run this time to the left side and finds himself an open hole to get through. Another big first down for the first time in what feels like forever for Ottawa. They're in enemy territory, so they need to capitalize on this opportunity.
Ball marked at the 38. Lakeman is back to throw. Fires deep.
Oh!
Ooh, knocked away. Grimm was in the area, along with Osborne Davis. Harper, the intended receiver.
Yeah, and that was a picture-perfect throw from Lakeman as well. He didn't need to put some spice on that throw at all. He just arced it over the 2 defenders, and it was all that needed was a Harper catch, and I think he bobbled it again. And that's what Ottawa's receivers need to stop doing, is drop those catches.
Here's Lakeman, back to throw. Ducks out of 1 sack.
Man.
Manages to stay upright for a while, but not before he's tackled by Gibson at the 41, loss of 2.
And Lakeman should have been sacked 18 times prior to that. Just fantastic pursuit from the Albuquerque defensive line, but great resolve from John Lakeman to try to get anything open, and he still gets sacked. And he gets sacked again.
2 consecutive plays. Mickey Gibson his 3rd sack, and that has to be a will breaker.
Absolutely, because Ottawa has done just a great job throughout this drive to move forward. Then all of a sudden, long play results in a 2-yard sack, followed up with probably one of the quickest sacks in the game by Mickey Gibson to get his 3rd.
Put your 4s, 86s, and 12s up in chat, folks. 21-0 Albuquerque in firm control. You're watching the SFLm on YouTube. APM Music is unrivaled music to bring your stories to life, inspiring every production with the world's most robust and constantly refreshed music collection, state-of-the-art technology, and world-class customer service. APM Music is the official soundtrack of the Simulation Football League. To explore the library and find the perfect tracks for your projects, visit apmmusic.com. Well, the Adams are in front by 3 scores, Brett. What do they keep the status quo or start chewing on some of this clock more?
Well, it would be probably in their smartest mind to choose some clock, but I wouldn't be too surprised if at least the first play they go past to at least get them out of the shadow of their own end zone.
Ball is just a little past the 10. Fires out to Williams. And we get a flag as Ryan hits him out of bounds. This will be the first penalty against Ottawa.
Yeah, that's one way to get yourself out of the shadow of the end zone is a late hit, because that's going to push Albuquerque forward even more. If I'm not mistaken, that's 15 yards, and that's going to be pushing yourself to a good position for their next first down here.
Ryan hits him well when he's in the white. Ball moves all the way out to the 31. And that's just a loss of composure there by the young Ryan.
Yeah, and you have to remember, sometimes in this league, it doesn't have to be long for the referees to throw that flag up on late hits. So you got to be composed.
Here's slap up the middle. Tackle made by the two linebackers, Welbeck, Bussey, and Connolly.
Yeah, and all Ottawa can ask for at this point is to get a stop after that penalty at this point, because if Albuquerque moves any forward, it feels like they're just going to keep chewing up as much clock as they can here.
2nd and 9. 32. Flat on the carry. Will get stopped at the line of scrimmage. Towers, the cornerback, coming up and run support with the hit.
Yeah, and that's another successful Ottawa defensive play with looked to be the outside linebacker Logan Thornburg getting involved in that tackle to stop slap behind the line, forcing a 3rd and 9 here for Albuquerque.
Here's Patak in the gun. He's to throw. Downfield, it's intercepted. Intercepted on the play by Ottawa. And they get a big turnover. Down by 3 scores as Type Attack just threw that one up for grabs, and Cody Tanaka's like, I'll take that.
Yeah, and it looked to be, a quick slants route to one of his main receivers there. And, one of the safeties we talk about a lot here is Matt Ryan, but sometimes you got to remember about that big 6'3", 225 free safety out there by the name of Cody Tanaka. And that's a big momentum shift here for Ottawa, right at midfield as well. If they can capitalize on this, hopefully this will be a domino effect for them to get back in this game.
Ball is exactly at the 50. Lakeman is back to throw. Shuffles through the pocket and he threw it right back. Ricky Robinson snagged it out of the air. Back-to-back interceptions we've seen the last 2 plays. Ricky Robinson has his 2nd interception.
You know what that interception reminded me of? It's whenever basketball players play a 2-3 zone defense and they're trying to pass the ball cross court, and the big man decides to reach up with his hands and try to get that interception. That is exactly picture perfect on what Ricky Robinson did to grab an interception. Great bit of athleticism, and I bet he popped a couple bits of his spine to get some relief as well.
17 carries for Josh Schlapp. This is carry number 18. Squeezes through the hole, picks up a yard to the 42 is where they'll mark it. As the clock runs 9:30 and counting to go. Welbrock Bussey in on the tackle.
Yeah, and right now I think Albuquerque's MO is going to be just chew that clock. You're 9 minutes and 15 and counting seconds away from getting to the championship game, so just make sure they can maintain this 3-score lead.
Here's to give the slap. Powers ahead. They're going to give him 2 to the 40.
Yeah, and this is exactly kind of what Albuquerque wants to do right now, is just kind of slow things down and just, get small runs here. And, 3rd and 7 ain't a bad thing for them right now, because in their minds, they can just pass it for a first down.
And that's what they'll do. Attack down the middle, catch made for the first down.
And
wide receiver out there on the reception.
Yeah, and like I said, they're fine with, those 3rd medium situations, especially in this time in the 4th quarter, because they're going to find that open receiver. And, Patak has done a great job, just keeping composed even when the pocket's wide open. He hasn't been super risky with his throws. It's been accurate. It's been good. The receivers are catching it, and that's been the difference maker right now in this game.
Back again to throw. Fires. Ooh, broken up on the play. Nicely there. Pass intended for Westlake. Broken up by D'Amico Brewer.
Yeah, and it looked like he broke it up with his helmet there. It's basically just one-on-one coverage between defensive back and receiver there, and pretty close to each other as well. And it just ended up being a deflection, maybe a drop. It's hard to say, when things are going in real time.
Here is Patak. 7-step drop.
Oh.
It's sack time. Multiple white shirts surround him at the 33. Timmy Turner involved in the sack party once again.
Yeah, he doesn't want Miles Gibson on the other side, if I'm not mistaken. He's got 3 sacks for Albuquerque here. He doesn't want to be too far behind Timmy Turner doing his work along with Rowe to get in the sack party against Patak.
3rd and 16 at the 33. You need to get at least to the 30 to be comfortable. Patak down the middle. Catch made. It'll be 1 yard short of the sticks. Josh Schlapp on the reception deep down the field. And Ye Verity on to perhaps try a field goal attempt.
Yeah, the pocket kicker, I like to call him, Ye Verity, all 5'8" of him, going to get his first appearance. We'd have to imagine at this point with Albuquerque already up 3 scores. They don't need to be risky at this point at the 18-yard line. And, they have the kicker out. They're going to look to extend this lead to 24.
Verity from the right hash is perfect from 35 to extend the lead to 24-0 with 6:57 to go in this game. And it's just been a perfect night in all 3 phases for the Adams.
It's exactly right. And I think that field goal basically, I would say with 7 minutes left in this game, pretty much seals the deal for Albuquerque unless Ottawa can pull a rabbit out of their hat and, all of a sudden get 3 scores in the next 7 minutes, which, is nigh impossible, it feels like, in this league.
And the Calvary will have the field position starting from their own 26-yard line with 6:52 left. They've had their moments, but ultimately, like you said, Brett, they haven't been able to put it in the end zone or even kick it through the uprights.
Yeah, it just seems like one of 2 things happens. Is just they're stifled right away, or they start to gain momentum, and it just feels like they get in their own way, whether it be multiple sacks or an interception thrown.
1st and 10 from the 26. Trips to the bottom. Lakeman back to throw. Has to avoid the rush. Throws over the middle, and Stafford drops the ball.
Man, that has been a story for Ottawa throughout this game. That has to be the 6th drop, if I'm not mistaken, that I've counted in this game for Ottawa. That could be possible catches as well. And that probably could have shifted this whole game out of whack as well. We might not have been seeing 24-0. We probably could be seeing a close game if the receivers could catch the football.
2nd and 10 from the 26. Play action. Lakeman hit on the release by TJ Assassin, the other defensive end. We talked so much about Gibson and Gibson that the Assassin goes unnoticed there, but not that time.
Yeah, and I think it's intentional because TJ Assassin can get herself involved, out of nowhere, it feels like, and get those key stops, but she hasn't had to do a lot of work so far as the Gibsons duo have done all the work so far in this game.
10, they throw out of bounds toward Knight, but they said he was out of bounds.
Yeah, and that's just unfortunate there, and that's almost feels like a concession of this game from Ottawa and from John Lakeman to just, throw a check down to the sidelines that wasn't even going to get close to the 1st down, and Ottawa punting this football away, only shedding 20 seconds off the clock as well. And it feels like just doom and gloom on the side of Ottawa right now in this game.
Barrett Jr. kicks it away. Return by Laverne up to the 36. .6:32 to go in the game. Colin Northup, Brett Solberg are your broadcasting team. Type Attack and the Albuquerque Adams have been in firm control of this one from the start. As Patak down the middle. Oh, the pass is dropped. That's the other receiver out there for Albuquerque. As there were several white shirts in the area, Kenny Jefferson unable to haul it in.
Yeah, and all Ottawa needs to do at this point is just continuing to just stop the football as much as they can. And Patak has had a day so far, as you can see there, 206, a QBR of over 90 is what you want from your quarterback. And, you know, getting a passing touchdown is the icing on the cake right now for the Adams.
He's back to throw into the gun over the middle. He's got Westlake, the tight end, and they say he's got 9.5.
Yeah, you have to think from an Albuquerque standpoint at this rate is just repetition of plays that they need to know. They just need to get out of the way and see if they can, you know, improve moving forward, because you have to have the idea that with Ottawa's offense being stifled throughout this game, you've got the W, you're in the championship, and you're ready to go.
Jack down the middle, and there's a little reward for all the hard work he's done. Gladwin Sky catches it for the first down at the 49.
Yeah, Sky has been a big part of Josh Slapp's success, especially in the first half, with his key blocking, just being the main fullback, that main blocking fullback, to give Slap just an easy extra couple yards, sometimes an extra 10 yards. So that's a reward there and a catch and a first down.
Blocks again for Slap, but he fumbled the ball. It's picked up by Timothy Connolly, who runs it back to the 49, but I think he got dragged down by the face. We'll have to sort out the penalty.
It looked like a horse collar there at least, and they're calling face mask on that, so that's going to be added onto the fumble recovery as well. So Ottawa, you know, a little bit of breath of life back into their lungs here to try to get back in this game, and is going to move themselves forward, whether it be 5 or 15. I didn't hear if it was called incidental or intentional, though.
I think they called it the 15 variety. Or no, they'll mark it back at the Albuquerque 37.
Yeah, that's a 15-yarder then.
It'll be 1st and 10. Salmon's up the middle, picks up 2. And you see the numbers for Dwayne Salmons. He's been very good for this Ottawa team all year long, Brett, but today he's been held in check by the men in neon green.
Yeah, it's been tough for Salmons, and, you know, usually being a second half back can kind of be a bad thing as well, because if you can't set any momentum in the first half, you won't be able to get all those big runs that you want in that second half. He's been kind of stifled throughout the game.
It's a throw down the middle. Michael Knight on the reception, and here we go with the hurry up as the ball is marked down at the 21. Lakeland sets his team. He's back to throw. Fires down the middle field. Catch made at the 3. That is Knight again. Down to the end zone. Looking for Michael Knight again, but it's knocked away out of the back of the end zone. It'll be 2nd and goal from the 3.
Yeah, you have to be thinking from a Robert Cherry standpoint on the sidelines. You have to be thinking yourself, where has that Michael Knight been all game at this point, as he's dropped, you know, multiple catches throughout this game. He's got 2 big ones on that hurry up to get Ottawa to the 3-yard line. They need to capitalize and get some points out of this.
2nd and goal from the 3, empty shotgun. To the end zone. Knocked away. Isaiah King to 14 to the receiver. 3rd and goal.
Now, not the right placement if you're looking to do a fade pass on there, because the perfect spot for that is that top right-hand corner of the end zone, and Isaiah King was at least 3 or 4 yards too far to the left on that. So if you want to get, that perfect fade throw, he's got to be closer to that sideline.
I got a feeling slants is coming up here as they line up trips to the top. Like, it is slants. Over the middle, knockdown, a Singletary. On the coverage with the deflection.
Yeah, and I think this time Ottawa went with the wrong option. It looked like one of the middle receivers was just open enough to get that ball squeezed through. It looked like there was a chance to give it to Trafford, even though he's missed, he's dropped a couple catches there. But nonetheless, here we are, 4th and goal. They have to go for it. They're at the 3. They need to get 7 points out of this.
This time they flip the formation to the bottom. Lakeman again, slant, knocked down in the end zone. And they come away with no points on their best drive of the game. Alex Marshall slams the door.
Yeah, and an important part for Albuquerque is that it keeps the shutout alive as well, with with Ottawa going for it on 4th down. And we've seen it all game. Marshall has done a fantastic job with pass deflections. His 3rd of the game, and he continues, to probably go up the prospect rankings chart as well. Safety is going to be one of those positions that is going to be open in this upcoming draft, and he could be an early round pick if he keeps himself active and involved in this community as well.
Play went slap. They say he went back to the line of scrimmage, but they'll mark him at the 2. Original line of scrimmage was the 3. Alex Marshall, certainly one of those SFL members you see plenty of in the Discord chat. I imagine he'd be a great asset to any locker room, not just his play on the field. 2nd and 10 from the 2. They got to be careful here. Slap up the middle. They'll get to the 4.
Basically back at neutral ground again here for Albuquerque, and I personally think they don't mind being in this situation because they can shed as much clock as they can here, and they can trust on that defense to stop Ottawa no matter where the ball lands on a punt or an interception if Patak throws one, or if they end up being pushed back a little bit more on this. We don't know, but I don't think Albuquerque's breaking a sweat here at the 4.
2nd and 9. Patak. 109 rather. Patak up the middle to the 12. Picks up 8, but more importantly, keeps the clock moving.
Yeah, and they're probably going to use all just to punt this football away. And more than likely, Ottawa's going to have good field position out of this. But the big important thing is that the clock's probably going to get down to about 2:20 left for Ottawa to score points here.
Ball. Line of scrimmage is the 12. Bennington has plenty of room in his own end zone. Standing right in the middle of it. Play clock under 5. They snap it with 2:20 and counting. And Harper gets his team started at the 46 of Albuquerque.
Being, pushed that far back into your own end zone, that was a pretty good punt from the Albuquerque punter out of that. Great job from Ralph Bennington to, just push that ball as far as he could and give Ottawa, a tough shot, even at the 46.
Here is trips to the top, 4 wide in total. Lakeman is back to throw. Has that deep out to Isaiah King, the 4th, who gets hit at the 25. And we've now reached the 2-minute warning. First and 10 at the 25. John Lakeman is all by himself in the shotgun. Here's a pass down the middle, tipped in the air, incomplete out of the intended receiver. The belief backups are now in. That's Skeldon, number 59, in on the deflection.
Yeah, and this is more a pride thing now from Ottawa at this point. You don't want to get shut out in a playoff game, no less, against a team you've had both success and failure against in close games. So you want to come out of this with pride no matter what.
Lakeman changes the play. It's second down. Finds Michael Knight for a pickup of 5 to the 21.
Not a bad play called there. At least it stops the clock. And Michael Knight has been the hottest receiver, at least in the second half so far. So at least getting a 3rd and 5 situation opens up your playbook a little bit more here to just get a first down. But good stuff from Ottawa.
4 wide. 157 yards for Lakeman. Down the middle. And tipped and intercepted. Looking for Gore Trafford, and John Lakeman's got to be shaking his head. Asante Skelton comes up with the lucky prize.
Yeah, just, a hot potato action between two defenders, and, one of the linebackers gets it. And that's just goes from bad to worse from the end of Ottawa's season. And Albuquerque, you have to think, no matter the result here between Madison and San Jose, they're going to head to Arizona and get themselves great momentum for the championship game.
Backups are in. There's a handoff up the middle to number 35, John Perry. Timeout called with 1:43 left. Almost seems like a rote response from the defense at this point. They have all the timeouts, and they're thinking they might as well use them.
Again, it's that pride thing kicking in for Ottawa. You want to have an opportunity to at least score in this game. If you can stop Albuquerque, get a punt again, you've got another chance to score.
Here's the good to Perry again, sweeping wide, tackled in the backfield, back at the 20. Timeout number 2 burned with 1:39 left.
Yeah, and Ottawa's defense starting to step up a little bit here, even with Albuquerque backups in. In a 24-0 game, it's again, like, I'll probably say this for the next couple of plays here. It's all about pride for Ottawa, just because you're in this situation where you're the 4 seed and you don't want to back down until the clock hits 000.
Elijah Townsend is the quarterback. Turns, gets to Perry up the middle, almost gets the first down, but tackled at the 28. Last time out for Ottawa is used with 1:34 left.
Yeah, it was good effort from Perry as well to try to push as far as he could to get that first down, kind of seal things out for Albuquerque. But now one more chance for Ottawa to score here, and they're going to have about a minute 25 to get this done. Let's see if Ottawa can end this season off in a high and score some points.
The return. Harper up to the 37. Box stopped with 1:26 left. Ball is on their own 37.
Let's go. 1st and 10 from 38 yards.
Bunch to the bottom for John Lakeman, the quarterback. He's back to throw. Underneath. Trafford with the reception, picks up 7. And here we go, Brett.
That's the only thing they can do at this point, is just hurry up. They're out of timeouts.
Dumps it off the Salmons out of the backfield, gets the first down. And they say got out of bounds at the 46 with 63 seconds remaining.
Yeah, now they can change formations here, kind of, shake things up, see if they can get moving forward a little bit more. But that was a nice swing pass, good decision-making from Lakeman there, seeing that there was a wide open space for Salmons to get that first down.
About the only starters I see out there are Alex Marshall. I believe TJ Assassin, she's still out there. First and 10 at the 46. Lakeman over the middle, catch made by Isaiah King in the 4th at the 30. We're now under a minute to go, and here comes the spike. With 50 seconds left. Good, efficient hustling by all on the Ottawa side.
Yeah, it didn't take too much off the clock there. It's still 50 seconds, 30 yards to the end zone, and I would say they'd probably be a little bit more comfortable, at least in field goal range, if they want to settle for a field goal, if they can get about 5 or 6 more yards to help things out for their kicker in Chaz Blackwater.
3 wide receivers, Mahada in the back. Lakeman back to pass. Throws, almost threw an interception right to the defender. That's Grant. Isaiah King, the 4th, the intended receiver, 3rd and 10.
That was great coverage from Owen Grant, and these are the opportunities that some of these reserve players won't be able to get sometimes in live games. They only get these in practices. Getting these coverage opportunities, gives a chance to that maybe, just maybe, they could be a starting role for next season, if not, later on.
Lakeman back to throw. Can't get away from the pressure, and down he goes at the 36. 4th and 15. They reset. He takes a snap. They need 15 yards. Oh, and it's a sack. Oh, Terry Sanders, the defensive back, comes clean around the offensive line and gets the sack.
Yeah, just untouched throughout that, and just being elusive enough just to, get around the offensive lineman and just get to the shoelaces of Lakeman. And that's going to do it for this game. 21 ticks left. You're going to have one knee, and Albuquerque's off to the championship game.
It's back to Arizona for the Adams. That's the closest major league site to Albuquerque, New Mexico. The Scorpions Fatality Field will play host. And they will either take on the Madison Lynx or the San Jose Flight. That's the end of the game. The final score, Albuquerque 24, Ottawa 0.
Yeah, just a completely tough game for the Cavalry, and you have to say a tough couple of last weeks for Ottawa as well. And I hate to bring this up for Ottawa, but if you want to be a playoff contending team, you can't score 17 points of total offense in the last 3 weeks of your campaign. 7 in week 7, 10 in week 8, and a nothing burger in the quarterfinals. It's tough to game plan sometimes, and I totally understand, but you got to have some fire in that offense. Your defense kept this game intact for as long as possible. 24 points in a playoff game allowed is pretty darn good. There can be some teams that can light up the lamp and get you 35, 40 points sometimes. We've seen it before in these minor league games where teams can explode for 40 plus. But for Ottawa's offensive sake, it was just a letdown these last 3 weeks. And congratulations on getting to the playoffs nonetheless, but it comes with a sad note because the offense was just not there the whole game.
Brewer finishes with 7 tackles to lead both teams. Timmy Turner has 2.5 sacks to lead the Cavalry. Ye Verity made this field goal that pretty much sealed it all. John Lakeman, 189 yards, only through the air. Ty Bazak, 218, and a touchdown. But this guy, Josh Schlapp, he had the 1 fumble, Brett, but other than that, he was a shining star.
Yeah, and basically set the momentum entirely for Albuquerque throughout this game. And, getting key first down runs, 6, 7, 8-yard gains, and that's what Dwayne Salmons needed to do for Ottawa in that first half to set their momentum, but it just didn't happen. But Josh Slap, great momentum setter. It helped out Albuquerque offensively, and that's how they got the victory here tonight.
He finishes with 96 yards and 2 rushing touchdowns, does Slap. As you see the highlights continue to scroll, they had some plays late in the game to try and move down the field, Brett, but ultimately they needed them much earlier in the game, and the player of the game is Josh Slap, 22 carries, 96 yards, plus 39 receiving yards out of the backfield, over 100 total yards for his team. Congratulations to Mr. Slap. For Colin Northrop, my partners Ben Brett Solberg, our executive producers Ben Cameron Irvine. Thank you and good night. See you on Championship Sunday.
If any of you are still here, check out the Madison-San Jose game. It's 8-point lead for Madison with 7 minutes to go. Bidu!